Hi, this is going to be a meditation on the breath, the body, and then also on thoughts and feelings. So we begin in the breath and the body because those are our areas of embodiment in the present moment. If ever you need to get back into what's actually happening right now, get your feet on the ground, just feel present. The breath and the body, what's going on there right now, those physical sensations, always going to bring you back to the present moment. So give us an anchor. It's also useful just to check in with the breath and the body because they give you an idea of just what's going on with you in the moment, whether your breath is fast or slow, whether the body is tense or relaxed, whether there's any particular sensations in the neck or the throat or the scalp or the brow or the chest or the abdomen or the limbs. It's a nice way just to check in, see what the weather's like with you right now. And building that relationship, that awareness of what's going on in the body helps us to just be better able to look after our own well-being. And the second part is opening to awareness of thoughts and emotions, but keeping the breath and the body as an anchor you always come back to. Whatever's going on in the mind, whatever's going on in the emotions, whether you're experiencing something really pleasurable, whether you're suffering something not quite so nice, being with whatever is here as an observer. So if the mind is wandering, it's where the mind's going today, a little story, a little memory, maybe some rumination, maybe some worry. And once we've recognised that, letting the brain do its own thing, letting the mind wander, watching those leaves flowing down the river, and then come back to, well, if that's what's going on in my mind, how does that feel in my body? Where does it manifest itself and how? You might also be aware of maybe some clinging. Maybe there's something there that you really want to hold on to. Well, what does it feel like to cling to something, to really want it to stay? And how does it feel maybe as that fades away? Equally, you might be sitting with something difficult. There might be a little bit of aversion there. You might be aware of a bit of trying to push it away or trying to change it, in which case, what does that feel like? Just explore it and let it be. This is what aversion feels like. This is what clinging feels like. And just see what it feels like to let that be. And then just come back to the breath. Well, how is it now in the breath? What's going on now? And how does it feel in the body now? And just allow your mind to do whatever. So bringing to this practice some kindness, some compassion, patience, and using it as a way of just sitting with whatever is here. Practice in being with whatever is here in the moment without trying to change it, without trying to fix it, just observe it. Maybe things might change from moment to moment. And if your mind wanders as it does and you come back to the breath and then you come back to the breath again, and it might be 10 times, it might be 100 times, that's okay. Each one of those is just a new moment of awareness, a new moment of coming back into mindful presence. And then a new beginning. Every single one is a new arrival into a new moment, perhaps a new sensation. Perhaps you might notice things changing. Things that were present 5 minutes ago might not be there anymore. Something new might have taken their place. So an exercise in just watching how things have their own natural rhythm of rising and falling in their own way. So for this, we're going to adopt a posture which is comfortable, but one that's also bringing a sense of dignified alertness and awareness. And coming into this meditation through the physical sensations of just being in the moment, I might want to begin by checking in with the areas of contact between the body and the surfaces, maybe the floor, the chair. Maybe investigating how it feels, the difference between contact with a hard surface and a soft surface. Perhaps different sensations of pressure in the feet or around about your sit bones. Maybe just noticing whether your back is in contact with the chair or whether your back is just doing its own thing. So just becoming aware of the body sitting in this space, in this moment. And just knowing that you're sitting down. Now we're going to bring our attention into the breath. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to try and achieve any particular state of being. Really just becoming the observer to what's already here. So just asking, what's going on in the breath today? Where do you feel it the most present right now? Maybe it's in the belly or in the chest or maybe in the nose. Beginning to settle into the breath, perhaps now just bringing attention to each in-breath and each out-breath. And today the breath might be fast, it might be slow. Your breathing might be deep or shallow. It doesn't matter. We're not here to make the breath any particular way. We're here to observe it as it is right now. Just watching the breath breathing all by itself. And once you've got into the pattern, that rhythm of the rise and the fall of the in-breath and the out-breath, Maybe inviting attention now to that little pause in between the breaths. And if your mind begins to wander while you're sitting with the breath, that's okay, because that's exactly what busy minds do. So for this part of the meditation, just recognizing that you're off in the wandering mind and saying, oh, well, that's where the mind is taking me right now. Letting the mind go on doing its own thing. And just with a bit of kindness, gentleness. Bringing the attention back to following the breath. Remembering that each new arrival into mindful awareness is a new beginning. So every time you come back into the breath, just saying, oh, what's going on in the breath now, this breath, this new breath. We're going to take the attention all the way up to the top of the head. Going to start exploring and investigating what's going on in the scalp today as we begin a body scan. And as we go on this journey, just as we did with the breath, we're not trying to change anything or achieve anything. We're simply being the observer to all the different experiences in the body. And if we don't feel anything in particular in any region of the body, that's fine. Just exploring how it feels not to feel anything. And using that as your practice. So we're going to start by taking the attention up to the scalp and exploring what's alive in that part of the body today. And as you notice any sensations, just perhaps recognizing the quality of them, whether it be tingling or coolness or warmth, buzzing. Or whatever sensation you're feeling. And then we're going to move the attention region by region, starting down into the forehead. Any sensations in the skin or the muscles. And from there, moving attention down to the eyes. And from the eyes down into the chest, the cheeks. And the mouth and the lips. And from there into the jaw. It doesn't matter if the muscles of the jaw are tense or relaxed. It doesn't matter if you're finding any tension in your face. That's just the way things are today. Simply observing and letting things be. Checking in with the ears. And from the ears, dropping attention down to the throat. And just asking, what's alive in this region today? What's alive in the throat? You might be aware of the pulse, swallowing, maybe even the cool air entering as you breathe. And from there down into the chest. And returning back to perhaps stronger sensations of breathing. You might also be aware of your heartbeat. Maybe contact between skin and clothing. Or between the skin and the air. From there, moving down into the abdomen and the belly, all the inner organs, and perhaps still also aware of how they're moving with the breath. Whatever you find in any of these regions, whether they be pleasurable or difficult, just breathing in to whatever you find. Breathing in to bring attention, to investigate. And then breathing out to soften and to open a little bit to what is here, just to bring a sense of allowing things to be as they are. So now we're going to move the attention up to the shoulders. And again, the shoulders might be tense or relaxed, it doesn't matter, just observing how they are today, how it feels in the shoulders today. Before taking the tension down through the arms, to the elbows, down the forearms and into the hands. Maybe just taking a pause in the hands because there's all the little fingers to check in with. Might be sensations of buzzing or tingling. You might be aware of your hands in contact with the surface or your lap, or maybe with the other fingers of the other hand. And from there, just moving attention back up through the arms to the shoulders again. And then inviting attention to investigate around the shoulder blades. Down the back, down the spine. Down into the pelvis. How does it feel in the pelvis right now? Maybe also just checking in with all the pelvic organs, how it feels in this region. And then moving attention down through the thighs. The muscles of the thighs might be holding your posture. You might be aware of some muscles tense and holding and others relaxed. Parts of the thighs in contact with the chair. Maybe others open to the air. And then down through the knees. What's going on in your knees today? And having had a little check-in with the knees, just bring attention down through the shins and the calves. And then down into the ankles and the feet. Again, you can take some time with the feet, maybe just exploring the bottom of the feet and the tops of the feet, and then all the little toes. So having completed a fairly quick body scan, now in your own way and in your own time, taking a pace that suits you, bring the body scan back from the toes all the way through the body back up towards the head again. But this time, just looking out for where in the body draws your attention the most. There might be somewhere that you met on your journey from head to toe that has a particularly strong sensation. Why not just go back to investigate that further? Spend more time there, investigate how it feels. Maybe the sensations change as you watch them. Do they grow in intensity, or do they change in any way? Is there pulsing or tingling? Remembering also is to breathe into what you find. And using the out breath to soften. Not in a way that pushes away, soften in a way that opens up. Invites intention of being with what is here. And as you continue with this body scan, remembering to keep the breath as an anchor. Always returning to the breath as an anchor, and then opening up to the body, and wherever it pulls your attention, just going there. Always bringing kindness and patience to your practice. As with all practice, there are always going to be distractions. There's always going to be things that take your attention away. And just bringing your attention back to the breath, no matter what's going on around you. It's all part of the practice. Once you're back in the breath, opening up again to checking out what new sensations are arising in the body. What's alive in the body in this new moment? What does it feel like? What qualities do those sensations have? And as you observe them, do you notice anything changing? As you sit in awareness of the body, you might be aware of thoughts. You might be aware of emotions. It might be possible that if you're sitting with something pleasurable, you're aware of a clinging to that, a wish for the pleasantness to remain. And perhaps just exploring how that feels. How does it feel in the body, in the mind, in the emotions? When you want something to stay, you want the pleasure to last. What's that like? And if you're sitting with difficulty, distraction, you might be aware of a sense of perhaps annoyance or irritability or wanting to push it away, an aversion to what's here. In that case, just exploring what that feels like. Remembering in this meditation there's no right way to be, no wrong way to be. Simply being the observer to what's already here, what arises and what fades in its own way. You could be sitting in the middle of a spaghetti junction with all the traffic going around, or sitting in the middle of a busy airport terminal with all the people busy around you. And you should be able to just see what it feels like to try and be with the breath in the middle of all of that. And be with whatever arises, whatever reactions you feel. What's in the mind? What's in the emotions? And having recognized where those thoughts are going, and you recognize what feelings are there, come back to saying, well, how does that feel in the body? When I have those thoughts and those emotions, how do they feel in the body? Let's go back to the body and just find out what's going on. So new sensations might arise in the body and they might elicit a response, an emotion, a thought. So recognizing with a kind of open, choiceless awareness, where is the mind gone? Stories, memories, worry. Wherever it goes, just acknowledging, here's thinking, here's a pleasant memory, there's a little conversation. And then letting your mind go on its own way, bringing your attention back to, okay, what's going on in the body right now? Checking in again, little body scan. It might be in your meditation you're aware of noises or distractions, and they might create or generate a reaction. You might be aware of certain emotions. If so, just giving them a label. Happy. Irritated. Restless. Calm. Whatever emotions are here, once you've recognized them, then just allow them to be. They are as they are. Come back into the body. How does it feel in the body in this new moment? And so just continuing this practice in kind of open awareness of whatever arises in the body, in the breath, in the thoughts, in the emotions. Just turning towards it with a bit of curiosity. That's what's there right now. And then coming back into the breath and coming back into the body. What's going on in the body now? Remembering we're not trying to change anything in this meditation. We're not trying to achieve any particular state of being. We're simply learning to be with whatever is here, as an observer, with curiosity. Whether what we're experiencing is pleasant or unpleasant doesn't matter. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. Just witnessing yourself, experiencing whatever is here. Always bringing compassion to your practice and kindness. And always, if you realize that you've got lost in thoughts or emotions, come back to the breath. Breath is an anchor. Come back to the body. What's going on in the body? There's always a new moment, there's always a new sensation. That's what's here right now. Bringing curiosity. And then checking out the body. How does it feel in the body right now? And as you're sitting in the body, perhaps now just being aware of the body in the space around you, connected to the ground, connected to the earth, and the body also connected to the air around you, the sky above you, and the breathing in the body. As if the whole body's breathing in and the whole body's breathing out. And through that, coming into awareness of the world around you and of yourself in the world around you. And just keeping a sense of that awareness of body and breath and thoughts and feelings as you go on in the rest of your day. You too. Yes, you too.